Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. Hope you guys are doing very, very lovely this evening. And holy cow, didn't expect to really, go live today. Originally, I was like, oh, there's a couple of these stories that are popping out right now that I want to jump in and make videos for and talk about. And then as the day kept on going, it's like, all right, well, there's another story. And there's another little tidbit here. So man, there's so much that's come out, not only from CinemaCon out in Vegas, but there's been some other stories coming out here today as well, and a couple within just the past few days. So I figured we would jump in here, talk a little horror news with you guys, have it out live, just go through every little thing. Should be pretty fun. I really do appreciate you guys jumping in and hanging out, kind of last minute. That's why I remind you guys to hit the notification bell, because sometimes I get a wild hair up in me and it's just, okay, we're going to go live in like 2.5 hours. Let's go. So especially when there's events like this. So yeah, just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Thank you so much for jumping in. I know it's late and everything like that, but I just want to remind you to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, notification bell, of course, all that good stuff. If you're watching after the fact, thank you so very much. That is incredible. It really does help the channel to have the live streams watched on replay. So thank you so very much. Yeah, make sure to hit that like, and, watching after the fact, jump into the comments. Give me your thoughts on whatever story kind of tickles your fancy, or maybe there's a piece of horror movie news or video game news or whatever that you are still waiting to see that we're not getting from CinemaCon, or we haven't gotten yet. So and if you're watching after the fact, hit that hype button. Just a great way. These are just free things you can do to help the channel, help this community grow, all that awesome stuff. Thank you so very much to everybody who is already doing that, and a huge shout out to the Patreon members, YouTube channel members, and the Death Squad mods, and all of the lovely folks sending in super chats and supporting the channel. You guys are amazing. I'm going to say what's up to everybody here in the chat. We're just going to say what's up really quick, and then we're going to dive into these stories because there's a whole bunch to talk about, guys. So we got a lot to cover. I want to get to it, and then we'll hang out. I have a poll up in the chat. Just curious to know what, out of the 4 movies I listed, which horror movie you're looking forward to most for the rest of the year. I already saw Tia giving me some shit in the chat. Tia, you can not want to see any of those movies. Which one is the one where you're like, okay, if I have to pick one of these 4, like, this is the one I won't, like, actually, be dragged kicking and screaming to. And if you can't think of anything after that, just hit Evil Dead Burn. I guess that's what I got for you there, Tia. But I'm going to say what's up to you guys, and then we'll get going. We got a lot to talk about and a lot to cover. And I do want to give you guys a heads up here on Friday. I'm going to be going live. Is it Friday? Let me double check my text really quick. I think on Friday, I'm going to be going live with, let me see here. Friday. Yes, Friday, 11 p.m. Eastern. Myself and my buddy Cecil Laird from the Horror Show channel. We're going to go live. We're going to do one of those, what did we call it? We called it horror, what is it? Oh my gosh, guys, I'm failing in every single way right now. We're calling it unfiltered horror talk. Yeah, we did like 2 or 3 of them last fall, and it's been a while. So Cecil and I are going to kind of do a roundup of CinemaCon 2026. So I'm going to be covering these individual stories because I don't want them to pass us by. But this weekend, we're just going to, kind of have a more in-depth nerdy chat about, I would imagine, just the things that we're really passionate about, but also the things that you guys are passionate about. So keep an eye out for that stream, hit the notification. That'll be what we get into on Friday. And if you guys want to contribute to my new computer fund, because I'm having some issues editing. That's why you haven't seen a lot of pre-recorded videos from me. Tried some stuff yesterday, thought it was working, not so much. So that we got a super chat goal for that, 5 super chats of $5 or more. That's just for fun. Don't have to do it. All that good stuff. Just icing on the cake. Thank you guys so much. We got Princey Doo. Guys, this is Prince's birthday today. Happy fucking birthday to Prince right there. I would sing the song Prince, but it's copywritten So I can't sing the actual happy birthday to you song. I can do the happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday from Upright Citizens Brigade, though. I'll give you that. Happy birthday, Prince. Hope it's been a good one, man. Or I guess it's the morning for you, so I hope it is a good one for you. We got Paula Fitzhenry. What's happening, Paula? Lamontre Gillard, how you doing, Lamontre? Antonis Andriotis, one of our great channel members. Ryan Michael, another one of our channel members. Tia Nina, yet another channel member. We got our guy Joe from Media Poop Shoot, another one of our channel members who is none too enthused on Insidious. I feel you on that one, Joe. I definitely do. We got Lenny, another one of our great channel members. How are you doing, Lenny? Welcome, welcome. We've got Mr. Aaron Click in the house. What's happening, Aaron? So good to see you. Reminding everyone to do the do. Do the do, everyone. All the free stuff. We got Adrian James hanging out. What's happening, Adrian? So good to see you. Papa John Loves Trash, one of our great channel members. How you doing, Papa John? Welcome on in. We got Theron the Brutal. Says, quack, quack, mother duckers. What's happening, Theron? How are you doing, man? Great to see you. Ready for the goriest birthday ever. Watching Terrifier 1 and 2 back to back. That will be the goriest birthday ever. Cap it off with the third one, man. I think Terrifier 3 is really fun. We got Jigsaw dropping a $5 super chat. Says, whoop, there it is. Hey, funny story about that song. So I lived in Bozeman, Montana back in 2003. I was playing in a band, a punk rock band, and two of the guys that were in the band went to school there. So the other two of us, we just relocated, got jobs and playing shows and all that kind of stuff. It was wild, man. Living in Montana is crazy because when you grow up at sea level and then you move to Mile High, I think it's like 50 some 100 feet. You drink like 2 beers and it feels like you've drank like 50. It's crazy. Anyways, I went to an event with one of my buddies that went to school at the college there. And they had like a karaoke contest where you spun a wheel and it picked a genre for you. And then you had to pick one of the available songs in that genre. I spun the wheel. I got R&B or hip hop or whatever it said. I picked Whoop, There It Is because it was like the only song I knew very well. And I ended up getting second prize and it was tickets to, it was John Mayer with, what's their butts called? Man, they're really big now. What are they? Maroon 5 opened up. And, I think Maroon 5 just had the one single at the time, and it was wild. There's way more to that story. I can't go into it now, Jiggy, but maybe later. I want to get to the news, but there's even more to that story. But just a little snippet of it there for you guys. Yeah, you know what? And I went against Obsession because it's coming out just in a couple weeks, and I figured that's like what everyone's looking forward to. Like right now, that's what we all want to see is Obsession. So I was like, what's coming out a little bit later? Actually, and with Passengers, maybe that's coming out really soon too. We'll get to Passengers. Oh, May 22nd, so a little over a month. Yeah, I just figured I would look a little more down the road because I mean I know that right now Obsession is like, yeah, I mean I know Evil Dead Burn's coming, so Obsession is the one that I'm chopping at for sure. But hey, you never know. Maybe The Mummy is going to be a lot of fun. I kind of want it just to be crazy. I just want The Mummy to be like stupid. Ryan Michael dropping a $4.99 super chat says hello to everyone and happy birthday to Prince. Thank you so much for the $4.99, Ryan. Really do appreciate it, man. And yeah, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. There you go, Prince. You get another one. It does seem like it's going to be great. 24. All right, there it is. Princey do. Happy 24th, man. We got Gory Tiger jumping on in. What's happening, Gory? So good to see you. Hope you are doing well. Who else do we have here? Miss Jamie Hart, our original Death Squad mod, our mama mod, and a YouTube channel member. Yeah, John Mayer and Maroon 5. And John seemed like so wasted. He was amazing at guitar. He did like 2 or 3 solos where it was just him playing guitar. I'm not the hugest fan of like his voice, like his singing voice. I don't know what it is about it. The dude is absolutely phenomenal at writing music and incredibly talented at playing guitar. Like I can't even talk shit. I can say I don't like his voice doesn't fit my sensibilities, whatever. It was still a really good show. I'll say that. And this was 23 years ago. Wow. All right. Excellent. I think I've said hello to everyone. That is great. You guys just want to jump in with some news or what? What are we doing here? Let's just go ahead and jump right in, right? We're going to have some fun with this one. So, man, I was like all set to go. I thought I had everything ready to go. And right before I started the stream, I was like, oh my gosh, there's brand new news here for Evil Dead Wrath to release in, I don't want to blow it. Ooh, there we go. Okay, just wanted to get that all set. There we are. Guys. This is crazy, as Clark Griswold would say. Can everyone see everything? Everyone can see everything. Okay, excellent. I love it, Jamie. I love it. What would you say? Jamie would say, get me pregnant at the Dave Matthews concert, right? I guess so. I've never gotten pregnant or impregnated anyone at any concert or in any fashion. Whew, good for me, I guess, right? What's happening, Steph? We got Miss Stephanie, aka Skittles, hanging out with us. Steph, how's the ear? Considered my jimmies rustled. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, stay on target. So this is oh my gosh, Mr. Like It or Not. Okay. Oh my gosh, don't tell me anymore. No, say no more. Mr. Like It or Not, thank you so much for jumping on in. It's been a little bit since I've seen you on here. Did I see something? I think I saw something here on Facebook. I've been so bad at keeping up on everything, guys. I apologize. What was there? I think there was some sort of notification that I got with you in there. I thought so. Maybe I could be wrong. Or is it over here? Message request. There you go. Heck yeah. I got you in there. I don't want to hear any spoilers, but I wanted to open up that line of communication with you. Thank you so much for reaching out, by the way, about CinemaCon next year. Let's have a little chat about that. And yeah, Mr. Like It or Not says here, trailer for Evil Dead Burn was fucking insane, terrifying, and badass. All right. Yes. Awesome. I got that. I just went ahead and accepted it. So now we've got that open line of communication. I do want to say this. I don't want any spoilers for the Evil Dead Burn trailer. I'm guessing we're probably going to get it tomorrow or Thursday, for the public consumption and all that. So I don't need any more spoilers. I like what you've said so far. I've actually heard, somebody else out there reached out and it was very cool. There was like no real explanation of what was on there. It was just sort of like, hey, I happened to see this and it looked really good, just wanting to pass that on. So, yeah, no, I won't read it aloud. Yeah, no, don't worry. I like to keep people's privacy. Not everyone is like that, but I'm one of those types. Okay, let's jump into this then, guys. Now that we've heard that the, Evil Dead Burn trailer seems pretty badass, we're probably going to get it tomorrow. Let's go ahead and jump on over here. I'm going to have a sip of water and we are officially going to be getting into the news. Okay, so some Evil Dead Wrath news came out of CinemaCon today. Originally, it was reported at the WB event that the film would release in 2027, but that has now changed. So I just wanted to update you guys with that one here. We've got, John Squires from Bloody Disgusting here with an article that was just posted a couple hours ago that says Evil Dead Wrath will release in theaters in 2028, and it is updated. I checked around on Google. Some of the other articles are still saying 2027. So, I trust Bloody Disgusting. I think that they've got, good news here. As far as like reputable news, I would like to see the movie in 2027 as well. I'm not saying good news in that sense. I just mean correct news. So the article says here, for the first time in history, we're getting Evil Dead movies in back-to-back years, with Sam Raimi announcing at CinemaCon that Evil Dead Wrath will release in theaters in 2027. Then boom, full stop, update, April 14th, 10:30 Eastern. So just about an hour ago, guys, Evil Dead Wrath has now been dated for April 7th, 2028. just an hour after it was announced for 2027 at WB's CinemaCon presentation. So, you know, that's kind of interesting. I don't know, did Sam Raimi maybe Sam Raimi got his words mixed up, his numbers mixed up a little bit. I doubt that an hour after they were like, actually, let's delay it a whole another year. So yeah, kind of an interesting bit of news there about Evil Dead Wrath. Like I said, I would like to see Evil Dead movies in back-to-back years. I think that would be pretty awesome. Doesn't look like that's in the cards. However, April 7th, 2028 is really not that long of a wait, considering that we're getting an Evil Dead film here in June or July, excuse me, the end of July for Evil Dead Burn. So yeah, still looking forward to some news on Evil Dead Burn, an actual trailer for the public to consume. So really hoping that we get that tomorrow. And guys, you can definitely count on myself covering that with one of my quarter speed breakdowns. We'll break every little moment down, try to find out if there are any Easter eggs back there, try to make what's what with whatever we're seeing. You know, I can only imagine right now, but we're definitely going to be covering that when we get that trailer. But as for now, Evil Dead Wrath set to release here in April of 2028. So yeah, if you got any thoughts on this one or Evil Dead Burn or just anything you want to mention on this franchise, this is my favorite horror franchise, then jump on into the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. And other than that, I'm going to see what the guys are saying in the live chat. Okay, guys, let's see what you got here. I know this is just a little tiny bit of news. What's happening, Ryan? So good to see you, man. Thank you so much for being a channel member. Hope all is well with you also. I saw you for a quick minute there on Pat's channel earlier today watching Night of the Creeps. Classic. 40 years old. How about it? Let's see here. Hey, I'm not going to read the message. Come on. I read pretty much everything. I don't know what that means. I didn't read any bit of the message. I mean, I looked at my phone. Give me a break, guys. Give me a break. Las Vegas, Jamie. I'm sure he already answered, though. No spoilers. Just know that it was great. The theater freaked out. That is awesome news. That is awesome news here. None of the above, really, Christine? Not even Evil Dead Burn? Come on. Come on. Yeah, Hokum. Well, Hokum's coming out really soon. I'm actually seeing Hokum in a week on the 21st. I'm going to check out Hokum. So, yeah, very much looking forward to that for sure. Okay, guys, let's just keep on rolling, right? Might as well. Let's roll on over to this one here. This one that I am like so sketchy on, guys. Let me go back there. Oh my gosh, this friggin' movie has given me heart palpitations. Let's see what we got here. Oh man. Okay, folks, Zach Cregger's Resident Evil. I don't know what the hell to think of this movie. I'm very confused that somebody like Zach Cregger, who has made 2 movies that are very popular with horror fans, two original IPs that have been very popular. One that brought home a Best Actress, Academy Award, or Best Supporting Actress Academy Award in Weapons. So I'm just kind of blown away that Cregger is jumping into something like Resident Evil. And I'm even more surprised that we've heard, this isn't going to be based around the video games, or it's not going to stick close to the lore and all that kind of stuff. Makes me feel a little dubious going into this one. We already have like 6 or 7 movies that are like that. So curious to see what Cregger's can do with it here. I don't know why I called him Cregger's. I guess I'm just reading here right on the right from the headline here by John Squires over at Bloody Disgusting that official synopsis has been revealed for Zach Cregger's Resident Evil movie. So let's jump in. Let's see what we can learn from this synopsis and see if it makes us feel any better about what we got going here. So Zach Cregger reteams with Weapons star Austin Abrams for Resident Evil later this year, a brand new horror movie based on the iconic video game franchise. Cregger is getting set to unleash a non-stop nightmare that puts his own fresh spin on Resident Evil mythology, and the film was part of Sony Pictures' presentation at CinemaCon tonight. I believe this is from yesterday. While footage shown off at the event will not be making its way online, we do have an official synopsis for Zach Cregger's Resident Evil movie out of CinemaCon tonight. Austin Abrams plays Brian, a medical courier who unwittingly finds himself in a nonstop race for survival as one fateful, horrifying night collapses around him in chaos. Zach Cregger told CinemaCon attendees tonight that his Resident Evil is, quote, a big scary ride, one that follows Brian on his hellish descent through a snowy, monster-filled landscape. Cregger teases that we'll be, quote, locked in with the protagonist on a foot journey through a world hell-bent on destroying them. The film has been compared to George Miller's Fury Road. Producer Roy Lee told Geek Tyrant in February, quote, it's like a roller coaster ride of nonstop action, of just showing a point of view of a character and an original story in the world of Raccoon City. Cregger has made one thing clear, quote, I'm definitely not trying to be completely obedient to the lore of the games. I'm trying to tell a story that just feels authentic to the experience you get when you play the games. We expect the Resident Evil trailer very soon, as I'm sure you guys do out there. So I will stay tuned to Bloody Disgusting right along with you. And as soon as we've got something to share, we will talk about it here. But yeah, guys, there's something about, like, I understand what they're getting at here as far as wanting to do, you know, Zach Cregger's had that success with his previous two movies. So he is going to want to put his own stamp on everything here. However, this just kind of sounds like, you know, just from reading it, first blush, I didn't like prepare anything, but a medical courier who unwittingly finds himself in a nonstop race for survival as one fateful, horrifying night collapses around him in chaos seems like kind of a what if 28 days later. Like, what if Jim were a medical courier? And I don't know. It just seems like, yeah, just a standard zombie movie. I don't know why it has to be Resident Evil. I'm sure we will see that when we see the trailer. They're probably just keeping some things at bay because they want to knock our socks off. That's what I'm hoping for. Because, guys, I really don't know what to think of this thing. Not to say that it's not like the other Resident Evil movies are all great or anything. I think, you know, at the beginning of the franchise, they had, you know, the second movie, Apocalypse and Extinction, I think. Those are the two where I was like, these are fun. And then everything else I've seen in the franchise, including the first movie, I just like, I don't care about. So it's definitely not like, oh my gosh, this film franchise is so precious to me. It's more like, man, I really like some of these games and I would love to see one of the storylines from one of the games actually told in a film. It would be really cool if we got that at some point. So I don't know. Hopefully this delivers that spirit of the video, like the feel, like he's saying, the feel of playing the video games. I like where he's going there. I just, you know, I'm kind of like a, you know, wait and see kind of mode here. And I liked Barbarian and I liked Weapons, but I didn't love either. So maybe that has something to do with the way I'm feeling here as well. But I don't know. You guys let me know. Jump on into the comments. Give me your thoughts down there if you're watching after the fact. And other than that, I'm just going to jump into the live chat and see what everyone is saying over there. All right, guys. Let me jump on over here. Zach Cregger's. Look, Cregger's. It's like what Craig Kilborn used to call himself. Little Cregger's here. All right. Let me see what we got. Boom, look at that. Ryan Michael dropping a $4.99 super chat with a computer screen. I love it. New computer fund. Let's go. Let's go. Dude, I don't know. I am worried. I have my concerns. Aaron says, I haven't cared about a Resident Evil movie since the original. I know it's not well regarded, but I like that original movie. Yeah, I don't think the original one is like that, but it is one of those, it's just typical of that time. I appreciated in the sequel and then in the third movie that they just like kind of took it over the top a little bit. It felt like it really did feel kind of video gamey in a sense. Oh, let's see what yeah, it would be cool. Just make a movie based on Resident Evil 4. I know I keep on saying that. But it's already written. It's a great singular story. You know, loosely tied to Umbrella, so you don't even really need to put the Umbrella stuff in there if you don't want to. Yeah, no, that's what I really dug about Apocalypse, is having Nemesis in there. I love the way he looked in that movie. And then Extinction had some bits that reminded me of Day of the Dead, so you know, kind of dug that too. It doesn't sound like much, Theron, and it sounds like, yeah, like I was saying, it reminds me so much of, you know, 28 Days Later. I mean, The Walking Dead did something similar. Not to say that they're gonna have the guy like pass out and wake up in a hospital, but just this whole idea, like, it just seems, I don't know. It like at this point, it would be fresh within the Resident Evil film franchise to make a movie based on a game. Would actually be fresh. And I like seeing freshness in these franchises. That's, you know, it's one of the reasons why I really like Halloween Ends. I just, you know, I like some different shit. So, yeah, synopsis doesn't sound like much. And I think Austin Abrams was really good in Weapons. So it's cool that he's getting a chance to shine. But it, you know, as far as we know, none of our main characters from the video games are involved. We haven't gotten like, you know, any of those names dropped. So yeah, could be pretty rough. Boom, there it is. You know what? My keyboard and my mouse, they should be okay. I got a nice little Logitech setup, but I can go ahead and put that 5 into everything else. Thank you so very much, Jiggy. Really do appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Yes, I agree, Theron. I absolutely agree. Yeah. Don't hate the Resident Evil movies like most do. Yeah. First 3. Yeah. I mean, I think that's, yeah, for me, it's, yeah, that second and third. Yeah, none of them are like, they are what they are. The Resident Evil movies aren't trying to pretend like they're high cinema. I guess my biggest critique is like, yeah, that they don't really follow the games. They follow like, they take little things from the games, but we're not really getting like a true adaptation, you know? Love the RE games, only saw Welcome to Raccoon City, and I actually enjoyed that movie. I lost my patience with that one. I tried watching it. It is so wild, isn't it? Yeah, they're just, I don't know, you're just making a zombie movie now. Now you're just making a regular zombie movie. And again, like, not to rip on Cregger or anything like that. He's made 2 movies that are way better than any movies I've made or probably will ever. I mean, probably? Yeah. Easily, definitely better than anything I, you know, will ever make. But as just as a audience member, I'm not really blown away yet, you know, like it's like 2 good movies so far, but I haven't been like really pushed over the edge there. Cosmic Urgency jumping on in says, I would like one based on the game with a babe as Leon, but I'm still looking forward to it. It's going to be good with Zach behind it. Yeah, I mean, they'd have to hire a babe as Leon, right? Because Leon ain't no Ugmo. You got to have a babe back there, right? Okay, let's see what else we got here, guys. Guys, here I'm gonna try something new. This is a new thing we can do over on StreamYard. Let's see here. Do you want Insidious? Am I spelling that right? Okay. What is it? Out of the further trailer coverage. I'm just curious to know if there's some that you guys want me to skip and some that you guys want me to, you know, keep on going with. Okay, so there we go. It's really easy, guys. You just have to type 1 or 2 in the chat. It automatically like puts it together. So pretty dope. There you go. Got that up there. Just curious to know what you guys would want to see. Keep radio silence away from everything you're interested in. You're talking about, yeah. They were attached to, we're going to talk about them a little bit later, T Parker, because they were attached to, Escape from New York at something at one point. Thank you for the 3. Thank you for the 69. I still don't know what that means. So there you go. All right. Oh, it's a battle. It's a battle for if you guys want some coverage on Insidious Out of the Further. Is that even what it's called? Yes, it is Out of the Further. I'm already like questioning if I'm naming the movie correctly or not. There is a trailer. I watched it earlier. We can watch it, guys. You know, push comes to shove. If they try to say like, hey, you used our trailer here, I can just have it deleted from the live stream replay, which isn't the biggest deal ever. I'm curious to know what you guys want to see. It's kind of cool that we can do this. We do a poll this quickly. That's, you know, something this simple. So let's see here. I wish you could time it though. That would be cool if you could give it a time. in StreamYard here. But 6-2. I'm gonna go ahead and stop it. We'll actually cover it now. So let's go ahead and jump on into Insidious Out of the Further, and let's take a look at this. Okay, guys, the Insidious movies just keep on coming, regardless of whether or not we care or we want them. I don't know. I think I watched like the first two and I liked them fine. I just didn't see a reason to keep on going back for the same kind of thing. Insidious, The Conjuring, I can't tell the difference anymore. That's just like, I don't know. That's just one guy's opinion. Anywho, we've got an article here from Alex DiVincenzo. Let me do this. Let me just restart that whole thing. I knew I fucked it up and I liked my intro. That's what I get. That's what I get. But maybe I can splice the two together. All right. All right, guys. So we've got Insidious Out of the Further coming out here, I believe this summer. A trailer has just dropped. I got to be honest, though. Like, I watched the first two movies in this franchise. I stopped there. I didn't need any more. And then after watching some of the Conjuring movies, I can't even tell the difference between the two. But let's jump into this article from Alex DiVincenzo over at Bloody Disgusting with a headline that reads, Insidious Out of the Further trailer. The Further comes for our world this summer. And we got this lovely, lovely image here. I mean, they're looking great, aren't they? Oh, it's just beautiful. It's great to see a lovely family moving into the neighborhood. And the article says, evil finds a way into our world in the Insidious Out of the Further trailer, which showcases a new family at the center of the jump scares and unsettling atmosphere we've come to expect from the franchise, plus some liminal horror and Nightmare on Elm Street vibes for good measure. Featuring a terror that redefines what the Further is capable of, the sixth installment of the Insidious series opens in theaters August 21st via Sony and Blumhouse Atomic Monster. The film follows Gemma, a young mother raising her daughter in the house she grew up in, who discovers she can travel into the Further, the purgatorial realm of lost souls at the heart of the Insidious universe. When something evil comes after her, Gemma discovers an ability that changes everything. She doesn't just enter the Further, she can bring what lives there back to the real world. Once the demons realize her power, our world becomes their playground. All right, so there's a whole bunch of other information here about who's starring. Of course, Lynn Shay is reprising her role as Elise Rainier. And then you've got a massive cast here. We got everybody else as far as producers, Jason Blum, James Wan, Lee Winnell, all those guys. But let's jump in and check out the trailer and see what we think for ourselves. Shall we? Let me get it all ready to go here. Let's see. I'm going to stop the music so we can really focus in. And I want to make sure everyone can see. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and put a pause to the music. Shh, everyone. All right, everyone, here we go. Insidious Out of the Further official trailer.
How are you doing today? All right. Just take a look inside. Looks like there's something stuck in here.
Double mouth. As if old people aren't scary and enough.
Yeah, ever since she was born, and just the two of us,
Just the two of us.
we were really happy. Get some sleep. Until I started having these dreams.
Is it just me or these are all so samey? I love a good haunted house movie, but it's like we get like 3 of them a year that all seem so similar.
Scaring your daughter. I need someone to tell me how to stop this.
Those are not dreams, Gemma.
All in shit. Gotta love her.
You have a rare gift. The ability to travel into the realm between this world and the next one.
Yeah, got it.
But you can do something I didn't know was possible. You can bring demons back to the human world.
You can bring Freddy back, Nancy. What? She's got the Patricia Arquette power
What
because she can
happens
just
if I
go
can't
in and out of
focus?
dreams. Stupid red door.
Maya? Maya?
No, 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 no. That is a massive couch cushion for. Okay. I am going to go ahead and run that back and just talk over it. How about that? Let me get the music going here again. There we are. Yeah, I saw some people in the chat talking about the dental stuff. That can be pretty tough for sure. I have a thing with teeth as well. Teeth and nails, like, fingernails and stuff. Again, guys, I hate to be like, I know I sound negative and I don't really mean to. I do really like, ghost stories and haunted stories and stuff like that. These movies have just kind of exhausted me. The Conjuring, Insidious, they just seem so samey. And we get so many of these types of movies that I'm just like, I don't know, kind of dime a dozen. I'd rather just watch like, the original Poltergeist, or even something like Sinister. The first Sinister movie, I think, does like a really good job of this kind of story. All these things like the whole looking under the bed and waiting for the moment that's going to give you the jump scare. Like we've seen that done in so many different ways before. Yeah, I don't know. And I totally get what they're saying about Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, you're bringing in elements from like Dream Warriors. Yeah, she's not bringing people into the dreams, but she has the control of going into the further. So she has this, this kind of crossover power that, Patricia Arquette's character in Dream Warriors didn't have the exact power, but something similar. And then, of course, bringing the demons back to our world and letting them kind of, have free reign, which is, I mean, gosh, that's kind of wild. It's, so this is, I guess, never happened before in this universe. Maybe I would be more interested if it really was something that was like more of a period piece or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. These movies are fun for what they are. I don't take them too seriously. I'm not going to give anyone shit for liking them or anything like that, but they seem very, very Mad Lib fill in the blank kind of thing for me. But let me know what you guys think. Jump into the comments. I'm curious to know, are you like a diehard Insidious fan? Is this one of your favorite franchises? Maybe you grew up on this and I'm just some old guy that doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Jump into the comments. Let me know down there. And other than that, I'm going to jump on over to the live chat and see what everyone is saying over there. Okay, guys, let's have a little chat about this. How are we feeling about this Insidious thing? By the way, welcome to everybody that has just recently jumped in. We're at like 40 folks hanging out here. Make sure you hit that like button, guys, if you enjoy horror movie news and just keeping up on this stuff. We do a whole bunch of different stuff here at the channel, but this is certainly something we cover here. So you're not going to want to miss any of that. I'm going to jump in and just see if I'm missing anyone just jumping in to say, hey. What's happening, Nanette? Welcome on in. Hope you are doing well. Hope you're doing very well. Yeah, the dental stuff, Jamie. I saw you put that in there. Yeah, though it is so tough. Like, what is it? Bring Her Back. I don't know if you've seen that yet, Jamie, but the people that have seen Bring Her Back, you know exactly what I'm talking about with the teeth stuff. And oh my God, it happens more than once and in different ways. They really put you through it there. We got Sean G jumping on in. What's happening, G? One of our great channel members. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Paula's going to skip it. She's skipping it. What's happening, Carrie? Welcome on in. Guys, Carrie from Carrie Crave Cinema. She has an awesome channel. Welcome her on in. She's such a sweetheart. We love Carrie. Let's see what else we got here. When I saw the tongue start moving, I'm like, well, I know that tongue isn't real. I can tell it's a CG tongue, like moving out of the way. Still kind of gave me the creeps, though. There you go. Yeah. How can we say how we feel before we see it? Exactly. Well, and that's, I've put myself in this position, Jamie, where it's like, I feel like I, when I report on these things, it's like I should give, kind of like my feeling on it. I think the first two movies in the franchise are great. But yeah, I just, just fatigue, I guess, I think at this point with those types of movies, but it could be a surprise. I mean, I thought Final Destination Bloodlines was one of the best entries in the franchise, like a top 3 entry in the franchise. I never would have expected that, All right, let me just make sure I'm not missing anybody else here. I do like the look of the demon in the couch cushion for it. Yeah. Yeah, some of that stuff, like, I get what they're, where they're going with it, and I can see how it could be creepy. Maybe if it's the first movie you've ever seen that's like that, and maybe that's what they're kind of going for, is just like a reinvigorated audience, And it's not like they're calling it Insidious 6, right? They've just been subtitling those movies for a while now. Let's see that. What else we got here? I'm going to make a Jamie prediction and say movie's going to be excellent. All right. Well, I will watch it in August and I will let you know. Yeah, you can't know your feelings on the movie, but you can have a feeling of maybe where the movie is going. Yeah. Insidious Chapter 3 is a must-watch, says T. Parker. All right. Okay. Oh, yeah, I remember Patrick Wilson having his directorial debut. What's happening, Big Rod? One of our great channel members. Guys, Big Rod's been a channel member forever. Almost 2 years. Okay, we got Ben Grimm jumping in as well. Insidious 1 was the perfect Netflix and chill film. Man, that first one, I watched it by myself. It freaked the fuck out of me, dude. It scared. Like, I was in my early 30s watching it all. I lived in the upstairs of this house with a couple bandmates. So I had like the whole upstairs was just mine. Watching it all alone, like on my big screen, and I was like, oh my god, it did freak me out. It was very effective. Okay, let me just make sure Nanette is jumping over on her other account, which she is a channel member on. How are you doing, Nanette? Okay, I think I'm all caught up with saying hello to everybody. Let's go ahead and jump into another story. I think I'm doing better on the news today than I did on Saturday. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Sometimes I'm a super dick about my performance. The stuff I say about myself up here, guys, you don't want to know. You do not want to know those words. Okay. All right, guys, let's just go ahead and we're going to keep on rolling here. Fucking Godzilla, dude. God fucking Zilla. Godzilla. Okay, let me make sure I'm on the right thing. Boom, there we go. That way we don't have to do the restart. It's embarrassing for me. It's probably really awkward for you guys. So I try not to put you through that as much as possible. You know what? I'm going to really quick before we jump into Godzilla, guys. Thank you so much, y'all, for helping us reach the super chat goal. You guys are amazing. I feel like every time I, set one of those, you guys make sure it's fulfilled. You all are so awesome. Thank you very, very much. Some more, drops in the bucket there for new computer time. I'm just checking on the poll too. 40 votes. Which upcoming 2026 horror film are you most anticipating? Evil Dead Burn is winning with 52%. So 21 votes. Yeah, I'll just make it sound like my 20 thing was about how many votes. So there you go. I'm going to close that poll because there's no reason in having it up anymore. The poll is up. Okay, and let's get back on over here. I'm gonna have a little sip of my iced mocha. It's my dessert mocha, half calf coffee. Don't worry, everyone. Half calf. All right. Okay, let me just bring this over here. All right, folks. Well, Godzilla Minus One from just a couple years ago was, man, one of the best movies I'd seen in a really long time. I'm a huge Jaws fan. And it really gave me those feels. And also, I loved how it was a story, kind of putting a mirror on, the way Japan treated its soldiers and treated its people after World War II. I thought that was like kind of refreshing. Japanese culture and American culture, we have so much in common. I think one of the things that I learned that we have in common from watching Godzilla Minus One is we like to call out our, we like to stick out our chests and be like, this is when our government or when our leadership let us down. And it's something that's sort of ingrained in us as peoples. And I respect the hell out of that. I really liked that angle in -1. For me, it brought a lot of the emotion of the movie, and I didn't cry, but the movie really wanted me to, and I did get a little teary-eyed. So anyways, very, very excited to know, that we're getting a brand new Godzilla Minus movie. This one is Minus Zero. It is coming out this November. We've got this article from Alex DiVincenzo over at Bloody Disgusting with a headline that reads, Godzilla Minus Zero teaser. The king of the monsters takes Manhattan. And we've got this epic picture that we're going to see at the very end of this teaser. It's a very short teaser. It really is just that. But let's take a look at the article. A new threat approaches in the Godzilla Minus Zero first look teaser trailer, fresh out of CinemaCon in Las Vegas tonight. This first look at Godzilla Minus Zero culminates with the king of the monsters stomping past the Statue of Liberty on the way to New York City. New York City! Could the film be attempting to right the wrongs of Roland Emmerich's Godzilla from 1998? The first Japanese movie to be filmed for IMAX, Godzilla Minus Zero will receive a wide theatrical release in North America on November 6th, 2026. And Godzilla Minus One writer-director / visual effects artist Takashi Yamazaki is back at the helm for the sequel, which marks Toho's 34th Godzilla film since 1954. Oh my gosh. Everything else here in the article, they're talking about Godzilla Minus One. I'll let you guys catch up on all of that in your own free time, of course, if you haven't seen it yet or you want to read about the box office and all that. But I think it's such awesome news that Takashi Yamazaki is coming back. I think it's a really cool kind of movement that we're seeing with visual effects artists that are becoming directors. We saw that with the original Deadpool movie. I don't know what is it. Tim Miller, is that the gentleman's name? I hope I'm not wrong in that, but he had an effects background, and one of the ways that movie was able to be made on the budget is because his effects house was there, doing the work. Same thing went with Yamazaki's effects group from Godzilla Minus One. It had a very low budget, but it looked so good. And there must have been some sort of sweet deal there for the visual effects artists, I would imagine. But yeah, guys, I'm super pumped about this one. Based on how I felt about the first movie, I will take all the Godzilla Minus that we can get. But I want to jump into the trailer here with you guys. So let me get it all ready to go, and we'll switch the screen back over here. So that way you guys can watch along with me. How about it? Don't want to mess that up. There we go. All right. And I'm going to put a music, stop to the music here. There you go. Shh. Godzilla Minus Zero teaser trailer. Here we go, guys. Enjoy.
If their operation fails, maybe we'll finally get to use it.
Abort third drop. Repeat. Abort third drop.
This shot coming up here, this whole thing, that's wild. I need to know what that is. Godzilla looks fucking awesome. I mean, you don't need much. How much do you need to want to watch this movie? This shot here, the scale, I can't wait to see the rest of that shot right there. So let's go ahead and I'm going to do that, and we'll just give another quick little rewatch. You know what? Let's just go ahead and rewatch it here with the sound again. It's so short. It's so short. Maybe we can pause it a couple times, guys. I don't know. This all looks very familiar. Here we go. Those are the ruins from the first movie.
Repeat. Abort third drop.
They must have reawakened Godzilla here. This right here, look at all this. This is just crazy. What is this, a Ghostbusters game? What's happening? He looks a little quicker. Has Godzilla gotten a little more athletic? Maybe he's been doing some yoga. He's been working on flexibility. he looks fucking massive. He looks completely massive. There you go, guys. I'm gonna get that music back on. Yeah, I mean, I don't really need to see more. I want to see this movie anyways. So, like, I would be surprised if this movie let me down. I grew up watching some of the Godzilla stuff just on TV as a kid and all that. I never really dove in and had like a big Godzilla phase. Like, I've probably seen more Gamera movies because I'm a Mystery Science Theater 3000 fan and they have a lot of Gamera movies on there. But I loved -1 so much that, I mean, they've just got me. They've got me. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of the trailer, how excited you are for the sequel, your thoughts on, Godzilla -1. Let me know everything you got down in the comments. Let's get that conversation going, and I'm going to hop on over and see what the live chat is saying. Okay, let's see what you guys got over here. He is fucking pissed. Yeah, he's like, you know what? You put me down after the last movie, and now you're waking me up with more bombs. Like, come on, dude. Come on. Let's see here. Grew up with Matthew Broderick Godzilla, and the soundtrack was better than the movie. That's true. That's true. -1 was like high cinema. Yeah, I mean, -1, like I said, it reminded me of Jaws. Jaws is my favorite movie of all time. So if you give me those sorts of feels, I'm gonna have a really good time with your movie. And I thought Godzilla -1, yeah, it did such a good job managing, balance between the spectacle, the action, the human side of the story, like the personal side, but then also just like the greater human side of the story. It was I don't know. It just made me, I just wanted to hug all those characters in that movie. And I don't always feel that way when I watch a movie. So they really got me, Godzilla pulling out the downward dog. He's been doing some stuff. Yeah, he's been doing some stuff. He does. He looks pumped. Yeah. When that shot of him coming out of the water, like, I know we've only seen little bits and everything, and I think the effects were really good in Godzilla -1, but that shot of him coming out of the water like that is, I mean, that's some of the best looking, that might be the best looking I've ever seen Godzilla look ever, like, bar none. So, at the Bar None Ranch. Hey, dude. Okay, what else do we got? Oh, this isn't from CinemaCon, but we got to talk about this, guys, right? Don't we have to talk about Child's Play? We got to talk about Chucky. Do you guys want to hear about Chucky? Should I do another poll? Should we do another live poll? Okay, let's see here. I'm going to do a new one. Do you guys want Chucky news? Yeah, you tell me. I like this. I like the interactive, there we go, polls there. Super looking forward to another great Godzilla flick. Hell yeah. Are we forgetting the amazingness that is New Empire? You know what? I can't watch those MonsterVerse movies. They are so depressing to me. Yeah, Killer Cacti. Oh yeah. I like Chuck E. Cheese and Chunky Cheese. I do, yeah. -1 made me care about the characters, and I watched the one with the subtitles. Yeah, me too. I prefer to watch subtitles. Or, I can read subtitles. I really want to hear the true performance from the person that's actually giving that captured visual performance. I want to hear their voice, regardless of what language it is. Aren't we getting new Shin Godzilla stuff too? I haven't seen anything for 2026. Man, Shin Godzilla, I left the theater. I walked out like 20 minutes before it was over. It was so boring to me. I didn't understand. I don't know what it was. He wasn't scary to me or anything like that. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, 4 votes, and it's 100% for, yeah, you guys want some Chucky news. All right, well, that's all I need. 5 votes, 100%. Okay. All right. Say no more. Let's go. All right, here we go. Mancini, our guy, the Mancinini. Okay, there we are. Make sure we're up over here. Boom. Okay. Well, Chucky the doll just isn't going away, now is he, guys? It looks like Don Mancini is writing a scary new Chucky movie for theaters. That's at least what we're hearing from John Squires over at Bloody Disgusting. Let's see what the article's got for us, guys. and let's have a chat about this and see how we're feeling. Franchise star Jennifer Tilly recently teased that, quote, more Chucky is in the works in the wake of the television series coming to an end after 3 seasons. But is the killer doll plotting a return to the big screen or the small screen? Franchise creator Don Mancini has revealed more at Steel City Con in Pennsylvania this weekend, and we've got the important details for you. Mancini revealed at the con this weekend that he's currently writing a new Chucky movie, and the film will harken back to the approach of his 2013 film Curse of Chucky. The 6th installment in the franchise initially positioned itself as something of a full-on reboot before firmly connecting itself to the previous installments. It also brought back the horror vibes of the original Child's Play movies, while the more campy and comedic aspects of Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky weren't fully embraced again until the Chucky TV series. Mancini directed both Curse of Chucky and 2017's Cult of Chucky, both of which paved the way for the 3-season television series. There was a remake of the original Child's Play crammed in there around the same time, but Mancini had nothing to do with that one. And according to his comments at Steel City, his next Chucky movie will not only throw back to those Curse of Chucky franchise reset vibes, but the plan is for the movie to also connect itself to the events of the television series and previous movies. Mancini is big on continuity, with all of his movies and the show existing in an impressively connected single timeline. Bloody Disgusting can confirm all of these details, while also noting that they've heard Mancini's intention with the new Chucky movie is to make it scary, throwing back particularly to the tone of Curse of Chucky, as well as the first 2 original Child's Play movies. The plan is also to bring this new Chucky movie to theaters rather than straight to television or digital. I'm going to say that sentence again. The plan is to also bring this new Chucky movie to theaters rather than straight to television or digital. There are technically 8 Child's Play / Chucky movies at the time, counting the remake that exists in its own universe, and Mancini's new script would bring the franchise up to 9 total movies. Only 8 of them exist within the Don Mancini Chucky universe, however, and stay tuned as we show off this little picture of the Chuckster giving us a very, very tiny middle finger. So, guys, let's have a chat about this. I'm going to bring it back up to this picture for a second, but I'm actually going to switch on over to my gigantic mug over here. So there we go. Here's where I sit with this one. I think it's great that Mancini is going back to the horror direction. That's what I prefer. Nothing against Bride of Chucky or the humor that's in there. I found that there was enough humor in the first 2 movies for me in that franchise, right? I totally understand why it went more and more, because anytime you've got a killer with personality, especially one with personality that talks, I think it's just like it lends itself to getting more and more campy and more silly as time goes on. Just look at Freddy. You got Freddy, you got Chucky. They're 2 fantastic examples of the very same thing happening. Pretty much like if you put those timelines together, the trajectory of scary to silly is, you know, pretty congruent there between those 2. So with Mancini writing, I'm cool with that. I like that he's pushing it in a horror direction. That's what I want. I would love something that feels gritty like the first 2 movies. However, I don't want him to direct. I really don't. I don't think he's directed the strongest movies in the franchise. And even though I do like Curse of Chucky, like I think it's pretty awesome, it's not like his direction doesn't do anything that really, for me, makes me take a step back and go, whoa, this movie looks really good. Like this is like extremely competently made, or there's like style and flair to the look of this film. Like I don't really get that from Curse of Chucky. I've only seen it a couple times, but I don't really get that vibe. Whereas the other night I just watched The Babysitter, both of the Babysitter movies for the first time ever. Mick G directed those. They're relatively low budget and there's style all over the place. I'm not saying that Mick G should direct a Chucky movie. I just mean that it would be cool if Mancini writes something really scary and they bring somebody in to take care of the directing part and let Mancini do what he does best, which is write the script and make sure the continuity is matched and the tone is something that he wants. And of course, you know, hang out on set, all that good stuff, but maybe have somebody that can just bring their own directorial and visual style. I think that would complement, you know, the storytelling style that Mancini's got. But those are my thoughts on, you know, a new Chucky movie written by Don Mancini. I think it's awesome. I hope that this all comes to fruition. It doesn't become something that just ends up streaming or whatever. I would love to see a little bit of like, you know, return to form for Chucky. But, you know, I grew up with him. So it was one of the very first horror movies I ever saw. I ended up getting asking for a My Buddy doll when I was like 10 years old, nine years old. A little too old for that, but it was the year that I just watched Child's Play for the very first time. So I had to have that doll just to have something that was kind of like Chucky. So that's my story. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Jump into the comments down below. Let me know all your thoughts on the Child's Play franchise, and your thoughts on, you know, this new supposed movie that's in the works. Let me know everything you got down in the comments, guys, and I'm gonna jump on over and see what the live chat is saying. Okay, guys, let's see what you got for me. Even though I've had a couple flubs, I'm feeling way better about delivering the news tonight. All right, here we go. Jamie wanted to be so did you vote too? Is that what happened? Yeah, no, you're cool, Jamie. You're cool. we both voted on Gremlins the other night versus Critters in Jason's stream. But nothing against Critters. I think Critters is really fun. I come on, Gremlins is so charming. Like, I don't know. I want to root for the underdog, but I just think Gremlins is better. It's quite all right, Jamie. I love that. I'm fine as long as he continues or wraps up the remaining threads of the show. Yeah, and I guess I need to catch up on the show now. Now I have homework because I've seen all the movies. I haven't seen any episodes of the show. If it leans into 1 and 2, I'll be happy. That's what let's bring it back. Bring it on back. And you're not alone, Carrie. You're not alone. I don't know if Antonis is still hanging out in the chat, but I know he's a huge Bride of Chucky fan. We actually did, Mark from Tales from the Shelf was on the show. We do these versus battles within a franchise, and we did Bride of Chucky versus Child's Play 2, because those are the two like fan favorites, and it was very evenly matched. We had Cody Leach on for that one. It was really fun. Yeah, Bride of Chucky is very entertaining. A killer doll movie by a gay outsider filmmaker. Of course, it was going to go camp. Yeah, no, and that's totally all. I mean, and I don't even think like, you know, the Don Mancini's personal life. I think he's done like a really good job at just writing these movies, you know, and not really, you know, like I don't even know if I knew he was gay until, I don't know, the last 10 or 15 years. So it wasn't something I was aware of, like, you know, growing up with the franchise or anything. But I think just in general, like that's where horror franchises go. They all go there. It's just when the killers talk, they get there quicker, you know, because they've all, Halloween's been there. Jason's been there. Leprechaun was there the whole time. So yeah, really wish there was a spinoff for Tiffany. That'd be a Tiffany TV show. That'd be cool. Saw Bride in the theater, says Jigsaw. Oh, you owe Jamie money. I don't know if she's going to be part of it. I mean, you know, right now he's just writing it and we don't know. So it's possible she could be. Yeah. I did, Cosmic. Yeah, I've never been, you know, it's cool to see somebody that he's known for doing these big budget things and music videos and stuff, but to do something that's like, you know, relatively small, like those babysitter movies, like I dug his style. Yeah, I thought it was cool to see that kind of style sort of pared down. Hope you feel better real soon, Joe. Take care, brother. Joe's been not feeling so hot lately, so send out some positive vibes over there to Mr. Joseph. What's happening, Pat? Welcome on in, man. Welcome on in. Let's go ahead and get to the next story here, guys. How about it? We're gonna have I don't know if we're gonna get to everything here tonight. Let's see. Some of these are gonna be really, really short. Like this thing is like crazy and it's gonna be short. I have to say something about this though, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, this is crazy, as Clark Griswold would say. Okay, guys, file away for something no one ever asked for, but some people might be eventually excited for. We've got a story here from Megan Navarro over at Bloody Disgusting with a headline that reads, Nicolas Cage and Osgood Perkins are re-teaming on new Longlegs universe film. Very interesting. Now, I really loved Longlegs. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. Let's just look at this haunting image of Nicolas Cage as our guy in the frozen, that's outside of Seattle, somewhere in Washington, you know, frozen field there. I really enjoyed Longlegs, and I'm one of those kinds of people, though, where I'm like, man, I just want to see Oz go and work on something else. But let's see what they've got here for us, because they say universe. So I guess I'm curious to see where they're going with this and what it really all means. So let's go ahead and dive right in, guys. You can't keep a satanic serial killer down for long. The Hollywood Reporter reports that Osgood Perkins is working on a follow-up to Longlegs, with Nicolas Cage returning to star and produce. While the sequel news isn't surprising, considering Longlegs was the highest-grossing indie film of 2024, what is surprising is that the sequel is shifting from distributor Neon to Paramount Pictures. More importantly, the new Longlegs film isn't a direct sequel, but rather something, quote, set in the Longlegs universe. Naturally, that means plot details are under wraps at this time, but it is confirmed that Perkins has written the script and will return to the director's chair as well as produce. And then they give some of the backstory here on the original film. I would imagine that everyone that's watching now has seen this, or at least knows what this movie is about here. And the Hollywood Reporter is saying that the budget and scope of the new Longlegs feature were too substantial for its former distributor, raising even more eyebrows as to what Perkins has envisioned for his killer's latest exploits. Okay, and then we got just some news about some of the other producers here. So, guys, this is okay. So some of these stories, I don't read them before diving in. I kind of just want to be able to give you guys my first blush reaction. Not really having anything prepared or anything like that. But let me jump on over here so you don't have to look. You have to look at my terrible face, not Nicolas Cage's terrible face here. But so here's a couple things that stick out to me right away. So Perkins has already written the script. That's a really good sign. So it's not like, hey, do you want to do this? And then they have to figure it out because somebody comes to them with this idea. I mean, and maybe that's the way it worked. But I like hearing that the script has already been written here. And then, yeah, Perkins coming back to direct and produce. Those are good signs. I'm guessing it's got to be some sort of sequel, right? I mean, if you've seen Longlegs, you know why. So Nicolas Cage returning, I suppose they could de-age him. We could see, a portion of his character's life from before. So I would imagine this is going to be a prequel. I'm not the biggest fan personally of prequels, but I think there's a way that you can do them. I haven't seen that executed very well very often. But I do like that going to Paramount because it's going to be a bigger budget. So that will be interesting to see, Oz jump back into something that's familiar to him, something that he's created with Nicolas Cage, somebody he's worked with before in this universe, and that they are going to have more money at their disposal. So I'm curious to see how much bigger the story gets, just the scope of the story, maybe bigger set pieces. I don't know, but I'm very, very excited because I love the original Longlegs. I mean, maybe very, very excited is too many varies. I'll just say I'm excited, even though I don't think every movie needs to be turned into a franchise or anything like that. I'm curious to see where they go with it. But this is one of those things where it's probably like, yeah, if you liked the movie, you're going to be cool with this. If you didn't like the movie, you're going to be like, why are they doing this? It's similar feelings, I think, with Weapons. They're going to do an Aunt Gladys prequel. And so it sounds like here we're going to get like a Longlegs prequel, and it's like, we don't really need those. But if you liked the original, you're probably going to line up for the next one. I think Oz Perkins is one of the most brilliant directors working today. He's one of my favorites. So I'm going to be seated for this one. And I'm curious to know what you guys think. So jump into the comments. Let me know what you thought about Longlegs, what you think of Osgood Perkins. What is your favorite Oz Perkins movie? Or do you think he's just totally overrated? Just let me know what you got down in the comments below, and I am going to catch up with the live chat. All right, let's see what you guys are saying about Long Legs prequel. I'm just making jokes. It's nothing's too serious here. I know. I'm just a big old meanie. I'm a big old meanie to myself and everyone else, Carrie. It's true. He looks like some Botox shots went very wrong. To me, you know what he looks like, guys? Let me put it back. He's like it's like chicken before you drop it in the fryer. You know, he's like all dipped in the flour and everything. He's ready to just be dropped into the fryer. It's a very strange look. It is. It's freaking me out. I'm gonna go back on over here. And it just cracked me up because I had it lined up perfectly. I didn't even mean to do that. Yeah. They, like, as if they didn't spoil all the mystery already. I feel like by the end of Weapons, I'm not even afraid of Aunt Gladys. My feeling is that this isn't necessary, but I am interested. There you go. Me too. And admittedly, guys, if I didn't like Long Legs, I would be like, why are they doing this? It is definitely coming from a place of I liked the first movie, so I'm interested for sure. I've only seen The Monkey and Long Legs. I'd rather eat a fart sandwich than watch another one of his movies. Oh man. Yeah, I liked The Monkey was like okay. I think Long Legs was fucking phenomenal. Like, you know, one of my favorites from 2024 for sure. Holy shit, is that Amanda Bynes? That is mean, Ryan. That is some mean stuff right there. Still funny, but mean. Oh, that makes sense. The only way they can do this movie after what happened. Yeah, I mean, it has to be a prequel of some sort, right? I mean, if they try to like bring him back, then it just like remove, you know, the first movie was like so grounded in so many ways, and then there's this mysterious supernatural quality, and if you bring back a character that is deceased, then there's the supernatural stuff isn't as mysterious. It's like way more grandiose, you know. Yeah, I mean, we got that in the first movie, right? So I would imagine this is going to be focusing on his exploits, you know, probably in the 70s, because the original movie takes place, it's late 90s. Bill Clinton is president and the Seattle Mariners were good. So late 90s. We're roasting Nicolas Cage so hard. Fried Long Legs, yep. Paula loved Weapons. There you go. Ben, big fan of Long Legs. Yeah, I still need to see a couple of his movies. Don't hate me. I think there's two I haven't seen. Blackcoat's Daughter, and it was like his early stuff. What was the other one? Blackcoat's Daughter, and what's the other one? Hansel and Gretel? Is that him? I think so. Let's see here. Okay. Doesn't look like it. She'll be too busy making They Follow. She's so good in Long Legs. I mean, she is like something else in that movie. Greta and Hansel. Oh, see, I fucked it up. I said the patriarch version. God damn it. You know, I guess I'll have to watch the other to see what I think, because I liked Keeper, but it is I think his most obtuse, abstract movie. Yeah, man, I really wish I understood Cuckoo. That went so over my head. I was like really trying to keep with it, and then it got to the point where I was like, oh no, I'm one of the dumb because I don't understand this, and I'm just really annoyed with Dan Stevens. Dan Stevens just like, I don't know what happened. It was like The Rental and then Abigail and then Cuckoo, and I'm like, this fucking guy makes me cuckoo. I can't stand this dude. Okay, I'm gonna move on to another story, guys, because there's a whole bunch. Passengers trailer. Do you guys want to check out the Passengers trailer? Do you want to see the Passengers trailer? Same kind of thing, guys. Number 1 is yes. Number 2 is no. There we go. Start and show. Let me know what you got. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. I'm sorry, Jamie. I hope you feel better in the morning. Get some good sleep. Get some good rest. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I know. Another reason to not watch Dexter. I'm not a Dan Stevens guy. All right, let's go ahead and jump on into let's go ahead and get that going. I mean, boom, look at that. You guys want the Passengers trailer. Let's check it out. I thought the teaser trailer for Passengers, which we're going to see some of it here in the actual trailer. For some reason, they like, let's see here. For some reason, they use some of that teaser trailer that you guys have probably seen. If you've gone to a movie in the last couple months or last month and a half, you've probably seen this trailer. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump on into this one here. No more Nicolas Cage face, guys. We're all safe. We're all safe from the big bad man. Okay. Oh, it's just Passenger. I don't know why I called it Passengers. I think there's a movie with Jennifer what's her face called Passengers, Chris Pratt. Yeah. Anywho. All right, guys, the movie Passenger has a trailer that has been released here. Megan Navarro from Bloody Disgusting has all the details with a headline that reads, Passenger trailer teases Americana nightmare. Andre Ovredal calls his scariest movie yet. So let's see what we got here. A mysterious entity latches onto a road-tripping couple in Passenger, the new horror movie that director Andre Ovredal, Autopsy of Jane Doe, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, The Last Voyage of the Demeter, calls his scariest yet. The theatrical... let me start that sentence over again. The theatrical exclusive teaser certainly suggested a terrifying voyage, but the new trailer opens up a wider world of terror ahead of Passenger's theatrical release on May 22nd, 2026. Watch the new official trailer below, which gives an eerie glimpse at the demonic entity stalking the backroads and highways in Passenger. So we've got a couple pictures here. I'll show those on the screen for the replay audience there, but let's go ahead and jump on into the trailer, guys. There's a whole, like a big old interview here, plenty to read. You can visit Bloody Disgusting if you want to go through the whole thing, but I am not going to bug you with all of that stuff. We're just going to get into the 2.5 minute trailer here and see for ourselves. So let me go ahead and put a kill on the music there. There we are. All right, here we go, guys. Trailer for Passenger. Here we go ahead and run it back, but I'm going to run it back to like the end of the teaser so we can actually see like the newer part here, and I'm going to get the music. I'm a little deflated, you know, based on what I saw in the teaser, which I thought was really cool, and then I see this and I'm like, oh no, is this going to be the next Undertone, which, you know, great idea. Executed, it didn't really like do it for me, you know, or something on over to the live chat. Okay, guys, let's see what you got. See what you got about Passenger. The teaser weirdly gave me nostalgia for early YouTube jump scare videos. Yes. Oh, I totally get that. Yeah. Put your grumpy pants away, iron them out, use some snuggle softener, and give this movie a chance. I'm gonna give it a chance. Guys, I gotta be honest though, don't I? Don't I gotta be honest? Wouldn't it be wrong if I was super sweet about everything? And you know what? It kind of irritates me when people are positive about everything. Because I'm like, you're just not being fair then. Not all of this stuff can be good, you know. But whatever. It's you know, we all you know have our own tastes and everything like that. Like here, Jamie says Passenger looks like it's going to be amazing. Welcome on in, Jamie. Thank you so much for joining us. We're all right over. I love me a good batshit supernatural movie. I hope it's batshit. It looks like run of the fucking mill. You know, like, oh, like how many movies have we seen like this, right? Where it's this like indescript like thing. Humanoid monster. I mean, the Insidious trailer had very similar imagery, and they aren't even about, like, they're about two totally different things. They just look so similar, you know? I don't know. See what we got from you guys here. I thought I read a while ago, Cage said he wouldn't do any more movies or take any roles as dark as that of Longlegs. Well, hey, maybe he got, I don't know. He must have been like, damn, I miss playing that guy already. What's his name? What's his actual name? I just like calling him Longlegs. How you feel about Cuckoo is how I feel about Longlegs. Oh, gotcha. You know, if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. I mean, that's like the thing with movies. Sometimes they hit and sometimes they don't. With exceptions, don't understand why people are scared of demon entity horror in 2026. Then again, I like Smile and Smile too. Yeah. I mean, it's all about doing it in a way that like makes it feel fresh, because yeah, there's only a certain amount of these, you know, ideas, right? So it's just, does your story have enough meat on the bones to sustain a feature length film? Or would your story just make a really cool like 10-minute short movie? I've been watching a lot of shorts lately on YouTube, like short horror films, and they all kind of have vibes of like this Passenger thing, right? But when you're only like 6 minutes long, they can really deliver so well. Yeah. I just have to say, horror really is saturating the market heavily these last couple of years, especially. It's true. It's getting bigger. And yeah, I think that's another thing too, is there's always something. It's tough to always be excited, right? Not every movie can be the best. Not every movie can be the worst. Some movies are going to slip through the cracks. Some rightly so, and some undeservedly so. There's a lot. You're absolutely right, Aaron. The saturation is massive. What's happening, Paul? Welcome on in, one of our great channel members. How are you doing? Let's see here. Yeah, I really like Smile too. Yeah. I liked it better than the first one too. Yeah, I thought it was excellent, man. Really, really good shit. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this, just so I can guys, because what I'm gonna do is in post, if I'm able to edit, if I'm able to use my editing software, I'm gonna take that and I'm just gonna snip it out and superimpose it over the other one. And that way it's got the right title the whole time. Okay, guys, you want to tear through some funny remake news? Yep. I told you guys there was a lot of news. We're gonna be quicker on these next couple of stories. Okay. All right. Let's see here. I want to do that. Oh man, guys. Yeah. We'll see how this goes. All right, folks. Well, there's no shortage of remakes of Night of the Living Dead. Everyone knows the story, right? I mean, if you don't, sit down, gather around the fire, let's have a little chat. When George A. Romero made Night of the Living Dead and they put it in the can and sent it off to have the credits and the copyrights and all that kind of stuff added to the film before it went out for mass distribution, the person that made the copies that were sent out did not include the copyright, and as a result, the original Night of the Living Dead is a public domain film, and George Romero, along with all the other producers of the film, unfortunately, were never able to make money off of it, at least not in the way that they would have if it had the copyright, which is kind of crazy that George Romero could have been like the George Lucas of horror. Or maybe things would have gone the opposite way, and maybe it's the fact that it was public domain that, you know, gave it so much life and had it playing in all of these drive-in theaters and all over America and all that. But I mean, I think the film is amazing as is. So anyways, as it all stands, public domain, this movie gets remade all the damn time. I mean, Sid Haig was in a 3D version of one from like 15 years ago or so, you know, before he had passed. There have been so many. And here we are, we've got a new one. John Squires from Bloody Disgusting reporting that Night of the Living Dead is starring Vivica A. Fox. We've got a trailer for the new remake of this Romero classic. Wow, I can't believe I'm saying that. It's just wild. George A. Romero's 1968 zombie masterpiece Night of the Living Dead gets yet another remake this year, and ITN Distribution has unleashed the official trailer this week. Oh, we're going to get into it. Vivica A. Fox stars in this version of Night of the Living Dead, which was directed by Christopher Ray and announced several years ago. Watch the official trailer below. So you guys know the plot to Night of the Living Dead, at least the original one. Let's see if it's any different here. Night of the Living Dead 2026 takes place during a worldwide event in which the dead rise and roam the earth as zombies. As civilization collapses, a small group of survivors must fight to stay alive against the growing threat of the Walking Dead. So same plot there. Brittany Underwood, the late Robert Carradine, Miko Hughes, our Dylan from Dylan's New Nightmare, and of course Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Zach Ward, Rob Van Dam, and Adam Huss star alongside Vivica A. Fox. So no release date here or anything like that. But let's jump in and watch this trailer. I'm so curious to see what you guys think of this. Like, I have to know your thoughts because I was like, oh, this could be really cool. And then I watched the trailer. So I'm going to put a shh on the music there and we're going to get this thing going. Here we go. Night of the Living Dead 2026 with Vivica A. Fox.
Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night. There is an epidemic of mass murder. At this point, there is no really authentic way for us to say who or what to look for and guard yourself against. It seems to be a sudden, general explosion of mass homicide.
I like the costume for Barbara. Like, they nailed that.
How are we gonna get out of this?
I don't know. It's like nothing that we've ever seen before. It's everywhere.
Just shot on an iPhone.
Police and vigilante groups are in the process of combing remote areas and search and destroy missions against all aggressors. Rescue efforts are proceeding slowly due to the increased danger of nightfall.
I don't see Miko though. I want to see Miko in one of these shots. Oh, come on. These are very like flailing zombies. Classic, another decap. Yeah.
I know what you want. You want a horror movie.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it looks about as low budget as possible. Let me just mute that and put it back on there. Looks very, very low budget, obviously. I don't know, guys. I had to show it here because I'm such a big Romero fan. I had to show it off. I think it's awesome when a bunch of, you know, performers like Dee Wallace, Miko Hughes, Vivica A. Fox. I think it's great when, you know, these performers get involved in something that's, you know, clearly paying homage to a horror classic. This does just look kind of like, you know, 7 years in development or 7 years when the film was announced, and it just looks very kind of, you know, cobbled together a bit. I love Night of the Living Dead. I think the Tom Savini remake is pretty damn good too. I still prefer the original, but I don't need another remake of it. But anytime they make one, I'm probably going to talk about it on here because it's one of those kinds of movies. And we are going to just keep on getting remakes forever and ever since it's in the public domain. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. I feel like I've been on the negative train with a lot of this stuff. So maybe I just need to shut the hell up and let you guys bring some positivity into the joint. So jump on into the comments section down below. Let me know your thoughts on this trailer. And let me know your thoughts on George A. Romero's zombie films at large. And now that we've got that done, I'm going to hop into the chat and see what people are saying over there. Okay, let's see what you guys got. Yeah, it looks so bad. Looks so bad, but like kind of good bad. I'll watch it. I'm more interested in Chris Ray's films as testaments to being a workman filmmaker that takes work for hire. He gets the job done even if the results aren't super classy. I don't know if I've ever seen any of his movies. What else has he made? The Sharknado of zombie films. They must have spent hundreds on that. Looks very cash grabby. I don't know about this. Yeah, I'm not touching this one. Not at all. This looks like it's going to stink as much as the zombies. Oh my God. Nope. No positivity here. Oh, Big Rotten. Nope. Not impressed. I mean, we read, like, I don't see him at all in the movie, but the article says he's in there. So, yeah, I haven't heard anything about that. I guess the next time out with Miko, I'll have to ask him, like, how was that? When did you shoot that? How many years ago was that? All right, there we go. We got that out of the way. Okay, so here's a couple kind of back to back that I'm just gonna knock out really quick here. There we go. Go over here. Okay. All right, guys. So guy. All right, guy. Listen here, guy. Terrible. All right, guys. So Studio Canal announced a couple remakes this week here at CinemaCon. Escape from New York and The Howling. So this is just a very, very little bit of news that we've got from Megan Navarro here. Escape from New York remake in development from Studio Canal. We got that great shot there of Kurt Russell. He just looks so tough and rugged and handsome now, doesn't he? Anywho, the article says Studio Canal is teaming with The Picture Company to develop a reimagining of John Carpenter's Escape from New York, announced via The Hollywood Reporter from CinemaCon today. The remake news comes a few years after Radio Silence parted ways with 20th Century Studios over a planned requel. Saw originator Lee Winnell had even been attached as a writer for the reboot. Escape from New York was released in 1981 and set in 97, and in the film, when the US president crashes into Manhattan, which is now a maximum security prison, a convicted bank robber is sent in to rescue him. Yes, that's the actual plot. It's a beautiful, beautiful movie. Really, that's all we've got here as far as the remake goes, other than a little blurb here at the bottom that says, Carpenter himself had even stated in 2019 that he felt Snake Plissken had another story or two left to tell, but no word at this time on how involved the horror master will be in Studio Canal's update, or whether Russell will reprise the role. So stay tuned, guys. They're going to get some more news to you over at Bloody Disgusting on this one for Escape from New York. And I'm just going to double this up into our second story, because Studio Canal also remaking Joe Dante's werewolf classic, The Howling. So let's see what the details are here. I think we've got fewer details on this one, but kind of wild, guys. I just revisited The Howling for the first time in, I don't know, about 30 years. It felt like it was the first time watching it, because I think I was in 6th grade the first time I saw it. So that was what, 93, something like that. I had a great time with it. Really, really liked it a lot. But anyways, that's not really the point here for this remake story. The article here says, last month, Joe Dante's The Howling celebrated its 45th anniversary. Today at CinemaCon, Studio Canal announced they're developing a remake of the werewolf classic. Adapted from the novel by Gary Brandner, the 1981 horror movie followed a television news anchor sent to a resort to recover from a terrifying encounter with a serial killer, only to discover it is inhabited by werewolves. So interesting. Both of these are 1981 movies. So that's pretty interesting here. So maybe they're planning something for the 50th, you know, maybe we don't, you know, we might not see these movies for a few years here. And it looks like all the other news here is just information about the original film being released. There's a shot of what looks to be stop motion animation of some kind there, or maybe clay models of werewolves. I don't know. The Howling is a wild movie, man. If you haven't watched it, I suggest you check it out there. Oh my gosh. And I didn't click on over. Well, I'm not going to make you guys sit through the whole thing, all the live audience. So you guys can enjoy this shot of a werewolf. I thought I was showing the other screen the whole time. Laugh it up, fuzzball. Yeah, so let me just get my bearings here. I can edit this all together on the actual thing. So silly. But anyways, you know, I don't know how to feel about these remakes. I think something like The Howling, I can totally see why they would want to approach that territory. You know, we've got Robert Eggers' werewolf movie coming out here soon, so maybe they're sensing a resurgence and they just want to, you know, bring some new life to the franchise. As far as Escape from New York goes, I can see it being pretty cool. I'm just also like, that movie's kind of perfect, you know. There's just like The Howling is a werewolf movie, and yeah, it's got specific things set up, but it's kind of like a standard story where you plug in the little things that you want to shake things up and the little twists and turns. Whereas Escape from New York is a little more like oddball, a little more atypical, right? So I'm into the Howling remake. I don't know. I have the feeling an Escape from New York remake might miss the mark terribly, but I could be wrong. I'm curious to know what you guys think, so jump on into the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts down there. Let's get that conversation going, and I am going to hop on into the live audience and see what they've got to say. All right, guys. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. My goodness, my Guinness. I'm not sure an Escape from New York. Yeah, I don't think it can. That's pretty much what I was saying there. And even like, yeah, product of that era, I just think the plot is so like, they made movies in a certain way in the 80s that like we just don't see anymore. You know, there's a grittiness to it. I'd like to see Oscar nominated actress Kate Hudson be an Escape from New York. You know, I would say throw Kurt Russell in there, but have him be the president. You know, like, yeah, I don't want him to be Snake. You know, his son could play Snake. I think that would be the best idea. If you really want to keep it congruent, like if Carpenter wants to come back and do the music and produce like he did with the David Gordon Green Halloween movies, that could be really cool. That's if I were Studio Canal, I'd be like, what do we do to get John on board in some way? Just in some way. You want to be able to use his name at the very least. And I know that sounds like, you know, all business and whatever, but that's just what it is. Yeah, it's going to be tough. That is a way taller order than The Howling. Yeah. Werewolf design in The Howling was great. Will you just look at that? Just look at that. Yeah. You're talking about this one there, Aaron? I like the stand-up werewolves. I do like them when they have that humanoid look to them. Because they've got like, they feel like a man and a wolf, you know, if that makes any sense. There's no movies like 80s movies like no movies I know. Let's exactly. I mean, we've always got, you know, like post-Watergate, Reagan era. I mean, like whatever. Every decade's got its shit, right? So I think there's certain times where you can like look at a piece and go, whoa, this is like directly a response to this. And then other times it is just sort of like a vibe thing or whatever. I just think in general, the 80s were just a lot grittier and tougher, you know? And I don't know if all of that was in response to the politics. I just think the art was, the artists were trying to impress each other still in the 80s. I don't think we've really, you know, I think that started to go away in the 90s. Like musicians, filmmakers, I don't know if they're, I think it's more about a product than, you know, an artist or a artistic expression or an experience, if that makes any sense. Okay, let me see what else we've got. We'll have some fun with this one. How about this? There we go. I'm actually going to share it, and I'm actually going to do that. Guys, this is just a fun one. So I'm going to get silly with it. Well, you know, we thought that the Scream fandom and everything surrounding it was a complete toxic mess, you know, coming off the heels of Scream 7 with a split fan base. And here we go. We got Drew Barrymore chiming in because she wants to see a Casey Becker origin story. All right, guys, warm up your engines. Get everything ready for the Casey Lives movement. All right, hashtag Casey Lives. We got to get it going because technically, like, we didn't see no funeral, you know. They just stuffed them guts right back in her, sewed her on up, and she is A-okay. Let's see what Alex DiVincenzo over at Bloody Disgusting has for us here. Wes Craven's Scream opens with one of the most... Why am I just making up words? Wes Craven's Scream opens with one of the... Stop it, Davey. Wes Craven's Scream opens with one of the greatest prologues in all of horror cinema, culminating in the shocking death of Drew Barrymore's Casey Becker at the hands of Ghostface. In the franchise's tradition of resurrecting characters, Barrymore would like to see Casey return in an origin story. The pitch was sparked by a conversation with fellow Scream franchise favorite Laurie Metcalf on today's episode of The Drew Barrymore Show about her appearance in Scream 7. Metcalf says, quote, "I couldn't figure out how I would come back, so it's so clever they did it the way they did." And then Barrymore says, "I wonder the same thing. People will say, 'Will you ever come back?' And I say, 'I'm not sure how.'" She added, quote, "Casey Becker, I think you could do an origin story for anything. And I think that's how you go in there." Okay, I don't really know what she's saying there. And then I'm even more confused at the next thing that Drew Barrymore says. Barrymore went on to explain why she took on the role in the 1996 slasher. Quote, "I wanted a clean girl. You know those girls who look so clean? I feel like I look like a dirty birdie. Like, you know, deep down inside that I'm a sicko." And she continues, quote, "But then you look at those other girls and they're like a Purell commercial. And so I was like, I want the Purell commercial. A good girl. A nice girl." All right, I've never heard her put it that way. I always thought that, you know, I heard that she was offered the role of Sydney, and then it was her idea of like, well, why don't we kind of trick the audience by having me play this Casey Becker character? Like, I thought that's kind of how she approached it, because I would say that, you know, Nev or Sydney is a pretty clean girl. You know, she does do a psycho killer at the end of the movie. It's true. It's true. It was her first time. She's a teenage girl. She was duped. She was tricked by him. He's terrible. But anyways, we're just having some fun with this here. I don't want to, there's a clip from the show. However, since it's from like a network show, I feel like if we, you know, if I display it here, I'm going to get into some trouble. So none of that from me this time, but I don't know, guys. I know this is just fun. I think it's awesome. You know, Laurie Metcalf, you know, getting together with Drew, and I love Laurie as Mrs. Loomis in Scream 2. I had a big old grin on my face when she popped up in Scream 7, but the idea of a Casey Becker origin story, like, what are we, you know, I guess at that point, what we would be examining her and Stu's relationship and how it fizzled out and how that ultimately led to her and Steve getting killed. I don't know. Not very interesting to me. Nice try, Drew Barrymore, but still, guys, hashtag Casey lives. I haven't seen that death certificate. I haven't seen the funeral. Hashtag Casey Becker lives. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Let's get that conversation going. And I'm going to jump on over and see what the live audience is saying. Okay, guys, what do you got for me in this whole thing? There's, guys, whoa. Hold on. I'm thinking Scream 8 just needs to be that prequel. Let's have the chickies from Suits write that thing. Let's have the failed Buffy writers write the Casey Becker prequel. Like, do we really need to know? Is she on drugs and alcohol? Some of it, you know, and I think what it is, Aaron, I haven't watched the clip, but you know what, like when you get in a conversation with somebody, if someone actually took your conversation as quotes, you might look at it and be like, wait, what the hell? But like during the conversation, it like makes sense. That's what I'm guessing. But yeah, some of this stuff, let me see if I can. People say, will you ever come back? And I say, I'm not sure how. I think you could do an origin story for anything. Okay, well, I guess that's true. Yellowstone has shown that. And I think that's how you go in there. It's just very like, yeah, you just do an origin story. I'm like, wow, Drew, it's amazing that, like, I'm sure she does produce a bunch of movies, but I'm surprised you don't write movies yourself. Wow. Maybe she really killed Maureen and Billy, and Stu are pissed because they wanted to do it, so she had to die. Yeah, she took their thunder, right? Roman was training her as a just in case, right? And then it became a contingency cleanup. You know, you got to get rid of her. Does she got it going on though? I don't know, Prince. She's not my type. Not my type. Sounds like a weird fan film to me. Yeah. What's happening, Fantastic Oracle? Welcome on in. Yeah, you know, just stuff them back in. Sew her up. You're all good. We got Airborne Rocker in the house. What's happening, Airborne? Welcome on in. You're kicking it with the Death Squad. All right. Okay. So I think we've only got one more. Holy cow. Because we could do the ice cream man thing here, guys. I wanted to do a breakdown of it. I'll put it out as a poll. I'm going to cover this stupid Pinocchio thing really quick because I already have the words up on the screen, so I might as well. And I'm sorry. These twisted children's universe things. I don't know. This one looks to me to be maybe the most promising one so far. I rewatched the trailer to it today. So I don't know if this is your kind of thing or not, but I thought we might as well show off this this poster here. Okay, guys, so the Twisted Children's Universe is the gift that keeps on giving here with Pinocchio Unstrung. And we've got an article by John Squires over at Bloody Disgusting with a headline that reads, Pinocchio Unstrung exclusive poster reveal. Audience member reportedly fainted at festival premiere. Oh, is this the new scariest movie of 2026? Let's see what we got. The Poonaverse is set to unleash its bloodiest installment yet with twisted horror movie Pinocchio Unstrung, and the film is making waves out of its recent festival premiere. Pinocchio Unstrung premiered at the Brussels International Fantastic Film Festival over the weekend, and we're hearing that someone in the audience fainted during the movie. True story? Viral marketing? Well, this information has been corroborated by the festival itself, while a fan in attendance also confirms the validity of the reports in a YouTube video he just posted. So I'm not going to get into all of that because they're talking a little bit about the movie and everything, and there's so much here. Really, I wanted to show you guys this the poster, this exclusive poster. It's pretty cool. I think it probably looks a lot better than the film really deserves. But just in case you guys haven't checked out the trailer, you know, you should do that. Make up your mind yourself. We got Richard Brake in the film. I enjoy him, you know, quite a bit. And we just get a little bit of him in the trailer. And then we've got Robert Englund as the voice of Jiminy Cricket. So, you know, we've got some kind of horror. I mean, at least one member of horror royalty, and then another actor that we're used to seeing in some horror films as well. So let's check out here. I'm just going to bring the poster over here and we're going to take a look at it right there. How about it? Gosh, I wish I could get it. There we go. Does that change anything at all? Okay. I'll kind of, so you guys can get a good look at it. You know, it's definitely got that, you know, wannabe Drew Struzan. It's kind of like a Fright Rag shirt, actually. Does this look like it's going to be a Fright Rag shirt? That's the vibe I'm getting here. A lot of body horror in this one we can expect, I would imagine, based on what we're seeing here. This looks like it could be like some sort of Evil Dead thing just from this part that we're seeing in this shot. And then, you know, I watched the trailer. When it's a practical, it looks like they do like stop motion for some of the Pinocchio. And I think that looks really creepy. There's like an eeriness about the stop motion. You know what I mean? There's just an odd look to it. And then there's other times when it's obviously CG, and I understand that, you know, CG is probably a lot more affordable and that they would have to use it and everything. So I'm not knocking them for that. I'm just saying, oh my gosh, like the practical stuff looks so good. It would be, in my eyes, I would look at this movie totally differently if I knew that this puppet was going to be a puppet all the time. You know what I mean? So that's my thoughts just on like the look and everything. I haven't seen any of these Twisted Children's Universe films. I don't know if they're really worth the time. Maybe you guys could let me know by talking to me in the live chat if you're watching live. If you're watching after the fact, jump into the comments section down below. Let me know your thoughts on any or all of the Twisted Children's Universe. Let me know which movies are worth watching, all that good stuff. Maybe I need to do a deep dive and, you know, watch them all myself and talk about them here on the channel. Let me know down there. Let's get that conversation going. And I am going to check and see what the live audience is saying. Okay, what do you guys got for me? That's it as far as news goes. I think we're actually done, unless we do Ice Cream Man. Do you guys want Ice Cream Man? Pooverse. Yeah, pooing all over the place. It's almost 1 and I'm still not asleep. I can't remember the last time I fell asleep before 1. Yeah. It's not his nose that grows with every lie he tells. Is that the actual thing? Or did you just do that? That's a good one. Dude, I swear someone faints at every festival. Conveniently when they're trying to sell the movie. Exactly. I heard an old lady died from watching the trailer. Oh, it's like in Scrooged, the old lady that dies from watching the Scrooged promo. It was probably just something she ate. Pinocchio looks like Jim Carrey's Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber. Oh my gosh. Do you guys want to watch the Pinocchio trailer? Have you guys watched it yet? If you want to watch it, I'll put it on, and then we can jump on over and we can watch the Ice Cream Man trailer if you guys want to do that. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know. Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm picking up what you're putting down. You and I, Ryan. It's so funny, Ryan. Like, over on Jade Infinite's channel, I was like, I hope Jade doesn't think that I started a second account as this Ryan Michael guy, because sometimes we jump in like right at the same time. We say hi like minutes after each other, and I'm like, oh man, I hope Jade knows that Ryan and I are actually two different people. Because I'm like, you know, I'm sad and pathetic in so many ways. I don't need extra ways for people to think that I'm sad and pathetic, you know? Okay, here we go. We are going to check out the Pinocchio trailer. Pinocchio. Pinocchio. Here we go. I'm going to get it all lined up. And don't worry, guys. I will bring you on over. Oh, come on. Let's going to share that tab. There we are. How about it? Oh, better put an end to the music here. I will end you, music. Shh. Okay, here we go, guys. Pinocchio Unstrung, which is officially entered in the BIFF 2026. All right, here we go. I can't even say BIFF Film Festival because that's the last two F's of BIFF. Okay, here we go, guys. Pinocchio Unstrung.
It's always hard losing.
Another ITN movie.
I'm sorry I had to experience all that so young.
I wish Zach was still here. It doesn't feel the same anymore.
There's like a really interesting setup.
I want you to meet.
And I like the way they do the setup in this trailer. Like, that looks really good. The little silhouette. And then, yeah, the fingers, super creepy. Like, that looks practical to me, too. Maybe it's not,
It's
but...
like, why boys that made different from you? Organs and stuff. I want to be just like you.
So you can tell that's like CG.
Don't. You're way cooler than me.
I don't know.
Take what they have, piece by piece.
You're bad influence, Jiminy Cricket.
Who are you?
Name's Cricket. Piece by piece, we'll take everything you need to be real.
I'm Jiminy Cricket, bitch.
What the hell is he?
Pinocchio!
I don't like hearing Richard Brake yell Pinocchio. He does it again. I think it's the same take. That's pretty funny.
Your Jim's a storm.
That's hardcore.
One hell of a glow up, kid.
I think Geppetto is hiding something.
I believe that the soul does indeed remain after death.
Call the police. Well, I tell them what, Dudley, that a homicidal doll is on the loose?
Yeah.
The
Oh my
subject is
gosh.
dangerous, born evil.
That's pretty gnarly. Pulling the skin off.
I'm going
All
to be
right.
a real boy. I'm going to be just like James.
Stuffing Casey Becker's guts back in. That's unfortunate. Wow, boob launch. There it is. Oh, more teeth stuff.
A smile.
All right. Well, there it is, guys. There it is. How about it? Let me get that music going. Oh, now it's just wanting to keep on share stuff. There we go. Yeah, you know, at the beginning, I'm like, okay, they're kind of setting something up that's pretty killer. And then they sort of lose me with that, with all that twisted universe nonsense. I don't know. What's happening, Kyle? Welcome on in. One of our great channel members, Kyle Curtis from the Blett from Another World. No, she grabbed it off the thing. They just cut to her like walking right out with it. It does look pretty gnarly. Yeah, I probably could just throw him in the fire pit. Yep. Airborne Rocker says looks good to me. Airborne, have you seen the other Twisted Children's Universe movies? Like, did you see the Peter Pan one or any of the Blood and Honey, or you know the Pooh ones, or there was a Bambi one, right? I heard the Bambi one was pretty all right. but I haven't seen any of them. Views Parallax says, I like that the Peter Pan movie upset prudes and pearl clutchers. I heard that one was pretty cool, but yeah, I mean, I didn't know it upset anybody. I mean, I guess I just figured that there are enough people, maybe they're not upset with the Twisted Children's universe, but they're just sort of like, oh, this is like, you know, it's like the Vidmark movies from like the 80s and 90s, right? Where we just like, oh, this is just the easy kind of cash grab thing because this is in public domain. You know, I think like usually, at least that's the vibe I've seen out there, but maybe I just haven't dove in deeper enough, you know? Oh, the prudes and the pearl clutchers. They're just the worst. Cosmic wants a Tiffany movie. Yeah, we were, that was brought up a little bit ago, like a Tiffany spinoff of some sort would be pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little different. Yeah. 90s movie Pinocchio's Revenge was actually pretty good. I remember that. I've never seen it though. I just remember seeing it at the video store. All of them, I didn't mind them, but I'm not super picky. Enjoy films for at least one watch. I love that, man. Yeah, I mean, really, like, you know, I'd imagine you're relatively new to the channel. Maybe this is the first time hanging out, but we just sort of, you know, the way I feel about it is everyone's got different tastes. Like sometimes we overlap in our tastes, sometimes we don't. You know, there's plenty like real things going on in the world for people to get bent out of shape about. So like, I love talking about movies and just, you know, not taking it personally, right? So that actually encourages me that you're saying that you watched all of them and that you didn't mind them. You know, I know the very first Winnie the Pooh one, you know, I heard so much bad stuff about it, but I will say this, that every movie after that I've heard better and better and better. So that's encouraging for that universe. And yeah, I totally know what you mean. There are some movies that are super cheesy or over the top or whatever, and I still really love them. So I've definitely got my picks for movies I love that I know aren't like the highest of quality, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I respect that there seems to be some creativity, but I bet it ends up being a kind of the Pooh movies, not much substance. Yeah, it sounds like they're trying to, you know, Geppetto, we might think that he's relatively innocent at first, but I think what we're going to find is that he is trapping people's souls in these characters somehow. I think that's what we're going to learn, is that Geppetto is into some dark magic shit, you know? We got Antonis Andriotis dropping a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Antonis. Says, hey, Davey, did you hear about the Chucky news? It's got me hyped. As you know, I'm a huge Chucky fan. Yes, Antonis. And you know what? We talked about that on this very stream. Kind of more towards the beginning, okay? So, you know, maybe about halfway through the stream or so, I cover the Don Mancini writing that new more horror-heavy, you know, Chucky movie. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. I knew you were going to be pumped about it as well. Carrie was even saying that she says Bride of Chucky is her favorite, and I gave you a shout out when she had mentioned that, because I know that's your favorite in the franchise as well. Okay, holy cow, I've been talking for 2 hours and pretty much just covering news. I think I was actually pretty all right as far as not wasting all the time in the world, just saying hello. And I don't mean wasting the time, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm going to answer this question, I'm going to answer that question. Tonight, I was like, oh my God, we have so much news to get to. Like, I just got to be like, hi, let's go. Hi. Thank you for coming. Hi, let's go. That's how I am now. You know, no more audience engagement, nothing like that. Yeah, Bride of Chucky. Yep, I knew it. The first Pooh was horrible. My last Pooh was horrible. No, I'm just kidding. I kid. Everything was fine. Okay, well, shoot. 2 hours. I mean, I can't just say that's it, 2 hours, I'm out. See ya, everyone. We can hang out for a few more minutes. What do you guys got for me? Anyone want to do any start, bench, cut? What do we got? You let me know. Oh, let's go all out, cover the Ice Cream Man trailer. Okay, we can do that. We can do that. I almost, I'd forgotten that I'd put that out there. Okay. Eli Roth's Ice Cream Man trailer. Yeah. It's a teaser, right? I'm going to call it a teaser. Teaser trailer. There we go. Any misspellings in there? Okay, cool. All right. And this guy, well, maybe not this guy, but the horror section, Eli Roth's company, dude, they love hitting you with shit. They, I covered the fake trailer to Don't Go in That House, Bitch. Fake trailer. Months later, they come back and they're like, hey, you have to remove like the images. I'm like, dude, it's a fake trailer. Like, what are you guys doing? Anyways, so they might hit me for this one. It's nothing that gets me in trouble with YouTube or anything that serious, guys. Basically, they're just like, hey, we want to take your ad revenue or snip the thing out of your replay. And I'm like, oh, well, I'll just snip it out of the replay. Like, F off. You know what I mean? I'm like, come on, Eli. Like, dude, you're kind of punk rock. Like, understand that we just want to like share your shit. Oh, I accidentally stopped sharing my screen. How about that? Terrible, terrible, Davey, terrible. Okay, there we go. Are we back? Are we good? Are we psyched? Are we ready? Okay. Okay. Just making sure everything's all good in the chat. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay, I can do. Why you, dude? You can't give me Thin Lizzy and Saves the Day in every single start bench cut. I do like those bands quite a bit. You already gave me Thin Lizzy and Saves the Day along with No Effects. That was rude, Prince. But it is your birthday. But I'm going to talk about Ice Cream Man first, and then I'll get to start bench cut. If you guys want to throw some start bench cuts my way, drop them in the chat. But I'm gonna jump on over here and talk about this movie. Okay, guys, so the Ice Cream Man teaser trailer is here. This is Eli Roth's original movie, Ice Cream Man. This is not a remake of the 90s film that starred Clint Howard. I know there's a lot of confusion about that out there because the movies have the same exact name. And not only that, guys, but Clint Howard is currently working on a sequel to Ice Cream Man from the 90s. So this is Eli Roth's own idea. It's just, what else are you going to call it? Ice Cream Man is kind of a generic name. So let's jump into this teaser trailer. I have watched it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I think this is what Weapons should have been. Like, if Zach Cregger's Weapons was more like this all the way through, I would have been pumped on it. I love when Eli gets a little silly with it. You know, he's usually over the top, and sometimes he leans over the top in a more grotesque kind of way. Other times it's a little bit more silly, kind of like Thanksgiving. Although I guess in Thanksgiving you get a little bit of both, right? But I'm very enthused to see what we got here. Let's jump into this trailer and check it out together. This article comes to us by way of Alex DiVincenzo over at Bloody Disgusting with a headline that reads, Eli Roth's Ice Cream Man teaser trailer turns kids into cold-blooded killers. I see what they did there with the cold-blooded thing. Oh, Alex. Oh, you are too good, my guy. Hostel and Thanksgiving director Eli Roth has served up a chilling Ice Cream Man teaser trailer, courtesy of Entertainment Weekly. The unrated horror film will be released in theaters August 7th via the horror section and iconic releasing. Written by Eli Roth and longtime friend Noah Belson, Ice Cream Man follows the idyllic summer town of Baleen Bay descending into madness when an ice cream man serves kids sweet delights with horrible results. Now we've got our cast of characters here. Of course, we've got word that Snoop Dogg, who's also working on the forthcoming Don't Go in That House, Bitch, is contributing music to the film, along with composer Brandon Roberts, who worked on Thanksgiving, as well as the Andor television series. We've got more info about prosthetic makeup, producers, all that stuff. But really, guys, we all know what we came here for. We want to check out this trailer now, don't we? So let me put a pause on the music. Let's jump into this bad boy. Shh, there we go. All right, this one just dropped at CinemaCon the other day. Let's give it a watch and see what you guys think. I love how colorful it is in these daytime shots. It looks like so much fun. Wait, we got to run it back, but what I'm gonna do is, guys, let's check it out in like super slow-mo because it's very, very short, right? So let's go there. Let's do that. I'm gonna put the music back on because you don't want to hear super slow-mo music, even if it is ice cream truck chimes. So I'm gonna put that music back on. A nice little bed behind us, and let's check this out. It is running quarter speed, so we'll get every little thing here. Thank you for visiting Baleen Bay. Oh, isn't that adorable? All right, he's got a pretty decent arm, but he didn't crow hop into the throw, so you're just not going to get much oomph. You can tell that kid doesn't really play baseball. All right, wait a minute. So each one of these little popsicles, they're all like animal themed, right? Creepy crawly, serpent swirl, froggy swamp pop. They're all kind of gross, right? I mean, just, representative of animals. We don't get any no SpongeBob, nothing like that, obviously. I mean, you'd have to pay out the nose for SpongeBob, right? That is creepy as hell. Reminds me of the thing from The Adventures of Pete and Pete. Shout out to the real ones who grew up with Pete and Pete. From director Eli Roth. A story that will inspire you. What is this? The Town from Joe Dirt? Dude is creepy. Upsy Daisy Floral Shop. So it turns him into some sort of zombies that are like hive mind controlled, right? This is seriously what Weapons should have been. Like, no joke. And they went all silly at the end of Weapons. Like, they got completely ridiculous with it. And here Eli Roth is like, oh, I'm just going to embrace the zaniness the whole entire time. Like, let's just fucking have some fun. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Making blood angels like fucking, Art the Claws from Terrifier 3. And just absolute mayhem. I love it. I love it. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy for thinking this looks like a lot of fun, but I think we need more horror movies that just kind of take the piss and have a good time and get ridiculous with it. Of course, more serious and elevated, and horror comes in all shapes and sizes and kinds, and I love every single variety to varying degrees. I'm just very happy that we're going to be getting something like this from Eli, and all I can say to you, Eli Roth, once you put a claim on this video for me showing your trailer, I'm so sorry that I had nice things to say, but all I got to say to you, Eli Roth, please, can I please have Thanksgiving 2 in 2027? Like, please? Like, we've been really good. Us Thanksgiving fans, we've been patiently waiting. We really love that first movie, and we're dying for a sequel. So hop on that as soon as you can. And yeah, guys, let me know what you think of the Ice Cream Man trailer down in the comments below. Are you more of do you like the uncomfortable, like hostile side of Eli Roth, or are you more of a Thanksgiving Ice Cream Man Eli Roth fan like me? Let me know in the comments. Let's get that conversation going. I'm going to hop on back over to the live audience and see what they've got to say. All right, guys, let's see what you got. Oh, I want ice cream so bad right now. I know it's too late. I guess I could drive somewhere and get some. I don't know. It's too late to be eating ice cream, right? Love Pete and Pete, and this looks like the cursed Pete and Pete episode. I'm so very down. Yeah, it's got a little bit of that Cooties kind of vibe. Like, it's definitely like, there are moments that are reminiscent of other films, but sometimes I'm like, maybe that's when I like Eli best, when he's just showing that, when he's writing a love letter through filmmaking, Yeah, I mean, I think yeah, Thanksgiving, they could have gone the Grindhouse route, like in the trailer, and that would have been fun. I like that it's a little something different. I understand why they did it that way if they wanted to keep it going, because making period pieces is more expensive. So maybe that was one of the things. I don't know. I don't know what made them modernize it, but I really like Thanksgiving either way. But I totally get it. A lot of people are like, oh, they wanted the Grindhouse feel. I didn't mind that they kind of made it a modern version of like The Prowler or My Bloody Valentine. That's the vibe I got from it. Yeah. There you go. Antonis is more of a Hostel fan. See, and I don't know, I'd imagine he produced the second movie, but I like part 2 better than the first movie. Yeah. Love it. Love it so much. Yeah, I need it now. And Addison Rae is just becoming a bigger and bigger star. That's probably one of the things that's holding it back. Should have killed her character off in the first movie. Would have made it a lot easier. But a lot of people from that first film that lived are having, you know, plenty of work. You can definitely say both. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. You know, I ask those questions. I always say, get in the comments. Like, I always try to be specific about things. I don't get much action in my comments section, but I'm like, well, maybe there'll be a time if the channel keeps on going for long enough that people will jump in and actually start answering the question. Now, I'm not saying nobody does. I just mean I don't get a lot of action in the comments section. It's not too late to eat ice cream. It's never too late to eat for ice cream, Davey, even if you were going to sleep, because it'll help you sleep because it's made of milk. That's very sweet. It'll just put me on out, right? I'll get a sugar buzz and then a sugar crash, and I'll just be sleeping. Okay, Prince dropped a couple start bench cuts that I'll dive into here, and then I'm gonna get going, guys. We're getting close to 2.5 hours here, but it's Prince's birthday, everyone. 24 years young. If you have not said happy birthday to Prince, he's in the chat, and it's his birthday. All right. Start bench cut saves the day. Thin Lizzy dashboard confessional. Start saves the day. Bench thin. No. What am I in the mood for right now? Oh man, it's really tough. I'm gonna start Thin Lizzy, bench saves the day, and cut dashboard. Yeah. Start bench cut Mike Flanagan, Guillermo del Toro, Wes Craven. I'm gonna start Mike Flanagan, bench Wes Craven, and cut Guillermo del Toro. Start bench cut Jesse Buckley, Sophie Turner, Heather Graham. Jesse Buckley. Oh, the chick that was the bride. I've never seen her in anything that I know of. I've not seen The Bride yet. Oh man, and I don't really like Sophie Turner or Heather Graham that much as actors. I'll give Heather Graham the start spot because I love Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. She's really funny in that. I thought she was funny in Arrested Development. I haven't seen her in a lot, but that's my favorite Austin Powers movie. So there you go. Heather Graham's going to start. Sophie Turner, you know, I didn't really like her in Game of Thrones too much. I thought she was okay as Jean Grey. Let's be honest, though, the writing for the movie she was in it was not very solid. Not very solid filmmaking. Can't blame her. But I'll bench Sophie Turner. I'll cut Jesse Buckley because I don't know if I've seen her in anything. So there you go. There you go. I'm going to run through the super chats that were thrown out tonight. You guys are amazing. Jigsaw with a 5. Ryan with a 5. Ryan with another 5. Jigsaw with a 5. And I missed this one earlier. How did they let me miss this one? Sean, I am so fucking sorry, dude. I hope you are in the chat still. I'm so sorry, man. I feel terrible that I missed that. I know I said hi to you, but I just totally missed this super chat, man. It must have come in when I was reading an article. Million apologies, brother. Nothing much is up, just talking some news. And then we got a $2 from Jigsaw. Thank you so much, Jiggy. Thank you. And of course, the $10 super chat from Antonis Andriotis about the Chucky news. Dude, I'm super pumped. I just don't want him directing. That's one thing I didn't say, Antonis, I say that when we were talking about it, when I was covering it on the news, but when you had come in, I hadn't mentioned that. I think Don did okay directing. I want somebody else. I want somebody to bring a visual style because Don does such a good job at the writing style of it all. Start bench cut, Day of the Dead, Evil Dead, Jaws. Start Jaws, bench. That's really tough. Start Jaws, bench Day of the Dead, cut the Evil Dead. I don't know what to do because Day of the Dead, I just really like the story. It just feels so different to me for George. Like I really, really like it a lot. I know. I feel bad when I miss the whole point of, you know, when you guys send those in there, I want to get them as quickly as I can. And I had just, I didn't. So when I go back from one window to another, Sean, or, you know, just for everyone, sometimes StreamYard automatically puts me to the top of the chat. Like it'll scroll automatically when I go back over. So sometimes I have to scroll up when I'm done reading from an article. I have to scroll up to see what you guys were saying. And I totally missed it because it you know, people just must have been chit chatting the whole time. Milo is a total cutie and he's really good in Thanksgiving. He plays such a good asshole. That like, I thought the performance was great. And he's very active. Like I follow him on Instagram and he was in, he played Seymour Krelborn on a Broadway version of Little Shop. And he's been, you know, doing a bunch of movies and stuff like that. Start, bench, cut the Changeling, the Howling, the Thing. Start the Thing, bench the Changeling, cut the Howling. He directed part 1 and 2. Okay, well that's great to know because I really dug part 2. Like I think it's a superior movie. There will be no leftovers. Cut to half the cast surviving. Exactly. Well, he wanted to kill all of them. He just got killed before he could kill. So what do you call Thanksgiving 2? Do you call it Thanksgiving 2 second helping or second helpings? Something like that. You gotta call it that, right? I don't know. Second helpings. It writes itself, right? In fact, I might start writing that script right now. Right fucking now. Baja Blast, Raspberry Slushy, McDonald's McFlurry. I don't drink Baja Blast or I've never had a raspberry slushy. I love raspberry though. I would absolutely eat or, you know, drink / eat a raspberry slushy. Is Baja Blast just one flavor or are there different flavors of Baja Blast? I don't know. I've never had it. I do like a McFlurry though, with Butterfinger, please. And if I can have 2 things in there, can I do Butterfinger and Oreo? That'd be dope. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Okay, what else do we got? I think we're all set, guys. 2 hours, 22 minutes. How about it? This was a fun one. A lot of news stories to cover. What did we do? We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I didn't mean to do 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 news stories today. 12 news stories. You guys were incredibly patient and awesome. Love you all so very much. And look at that. We're still at over 25 people kicking it at about 2.5 hours in. You all are beautiful. I hope everyone hit that like button. I hope everyone that's not subscribed also clicked that as well. Make sure you hit the notification bell because you don't want to miss when I happen to just create a stream 2.5 hours before going live or like an hour and a half like I did today. So sometimes that happens and you don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss out. So make sure all the buttons are hit and all that good stuff. Look at that. We got Asha jumping in because it's that time out in the UK. What's happening, Asha? We just covered a shitload of news from CinemaCon, man. Just like 12 stories. It was gnarly. So little tiny bit of Evil Dead Wrath news in there. And someone did jump in the chat that got to see the Evil Dead Burn trailer at CinemaCon tonight. And not only that, Asha, they were really cool. They didn't spoil anything. They just said that it's brutal and awesome. So fuck yeah. How about it? Guys, Ash is one of our great supporters from out there across the pond in the UK. Just throwing him a shout out because he doesn't always get to jump in because it's I think 8-hour time difference from where I'm at. So usually only on the weekends. But anywho, guys, you all are beautiful. Oh, and I didn't even say, Asha is one of our great channel members. Fucking awesome channel members. And, you know, that's how he's a lovely supporter. Lovely supporter, Ash. Thank you so much, man. And, dude, the next time I talk Evil Dead for real, it's going to be at a time where you and the UK folks can jump on in. Maybe we'll just have to do, like, after the trailer comes out, I'll dissect it and break it down on the channel, of course, as its own video. But maybe on the after it's out and we've gotten to look at it and, you know, maybe there's a press release that comes out with the trailer that gives us a synopsis, because I don't believe we've gotten a synopsis yet for the film, which is crazy because it comes out at the end of July. So we are like 3 months away from this thing and we don't even have a synopsis. That's gnarly. But yeah, we'll work some Evil Dead Burn talk into one of those weekend streams for you, Asha. So there you go. Ask Asha and you shall receive a terrible joke. I'm not even a father, and that was a bad dad joke. Not even a good dad joke. Terrible. All right, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for me this time around. I'm going to be back tomorrow, right? It's Wednesday, Late Night with the Davey, episode 101. How about that? It's like your first day at a college course. Late Night with the Davey 101. You're going to learn everything. We are going to ask you guys what the best horror movies are from the years 1960 through 1979. So we're going to figure it all out. And then we will have figured out what the greatest horror movie from every year, 1960 to 2025 has been. And we're going to do a big old bracket challenge. That'll be so cool. So that's what we're going to get into tomorrow, just finishing up our last round of best movies. On Friday night, I'm going to be back over here with Cecil from the Horror Show channel. We're going to be doing a whole roundup on CinemaCon, which wraps up on Thursday. So at that point, we're just going to be talking about some of these stories that popped off that we're really interested in. And maybe on Thursday, I've got to jump in here and do another round of news because we don't know what's coming out tomorrow or Thursday. I'm hoping we get that Evil Dead Burn trailer tomorrow, and I will drop everything to, hop in and shoot a trailer reaction. You can bet your bottom dollar on that one. So that's going to wrap it up for this one tonight. You all are beautiful. Thank you so much to the Patreon members, YouTube channel members, and our Death Squad mods. You guys are awesome. Shout out to everybody that is just here, hanging out in the chat, watching after the fact. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Hit the hype button if you're watching after the fact. Jump into the comments. Give me your thoughts on any of the stories we covered, or maybe there's something I missed that you want to see us cover here. Let me know down below. And that is going to wrap it up for this one, guys. You know how we end this show here, right? Until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.